everybody, and welcome to Tactical Insert Episode 7. It's been quite a while since we've done one of these. I am really sorry about that. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're back on the ground running now. So this is me, myself, Oxlove, and as always, with me is my wonderful co-host, Mr. Evil Noodle. How are you doing this week, Mr. Noodle?
Feeling pretty good, yeah. I'm looking forward to getting Tactical Insert back on running again. It's been a couple of weeks. So sorry for that, everyone. Just life getting in the way.
Yeah.
But we're really pleased to be back.
And in this menage a trois with us on the end there is Mr. El Clarko. How are you doing this week?
Good. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, no bother at all. Obviously, it's kind of the holy trio now, I think, us three doing this. We get random guests every now and again, but the feedback we've had is the best ones we've had are really us three talking about team burning and stuff, so we'll try and keep it us three as much as possible, I think. So, right. Big news since we've been last on, and that is the reveal trailer teaser. Well, you call it a teaser, actually has quite a lot of information for Black Ops 2. Means a few things. One, we're quite happy that it is Black Ops 2, apart from me, because it means I'm £5 lighter. I had a bet on with Mr. Noodle there that it wouldn't be called Black Ops 2, it would be called anything else, and I actually thought that was a pretty safe bet. But unfortunately not. So Mr. Noodle is £5 richer. Never mind. So
Only way it could have went.
See, I didn't think that, hence why I made the bet. But never mind. So, what do we think about Black Ops 2?
I'm really excited for it. There has been a lot of negative speaking on the internet about people unhappy with the whole future thing. But I know we've talked a little bit about this, and I think that as long as they keep the core, what made Black Ops so successful, you know, the balance and the kill streaks, the map layouts, etc., and the dedication to fixing bugs as well, I think it's got nothing but a success. I am a little bit apprehensive though, because the guy who, I assume he's replaced Robert Boland as the Activision spokesperson, was saying that they're basically starting from scratch and they're going to build the multiplayer from the ground up. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Okay. Clarko?
I'm quite looking forward to it, and I'm quite looking forward to the fact that they're going to build it from the ground up. Not that there was anything wrong with Black Ops, and I did love Black Ops. One of my most recent videos is one of the most enjoyable videos that I've made, which was a return to Black Ops just for one game. I am quite excited because it's in the future, because they can play around with it. At the moment with Modern Warfare, it's so predictable in the type of weapons it's going to have in. You've got a pretty good chance of guessing which ones are going to be in. They can play around with it a bit, as long as they don't put friggin' lightsabers and stuff in. I think they can really pull it off. It's quite futuristic, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I think they've got the experience there to make it from the ground up and make it really well.
Cool. I mean, what I've heard is they're not. It is the same engine. For those of you that don't know, basically it's the same kind of processing code that they use, so it's not going to feel too different. It's kind of processed on the same thing. I know they've made loads of adjustments. For instance, the graphics I think are a lot better. In the trailer, they made people's facial mapping a lot better. I think it's going to be a lot more cinematic, that kind of thing. But it's going into the future. Now, this is the first time any of the Call of Duties have done it. I don't know how to really think about that. And yeah, we have talked about it before, where I mentioned that the reason I loved Black Ops was because it was set kind of in the past. We did talk about that, and actually, playing the multiplayer, you wouldn't have known you're in the past. You would have just thought, this is how it looks, this is how it acts, and you could have stuck any other skins on anything and it would have just been playing the same. But do you think that they've gone a little bit too far going into the future? Any ideas?
Well, one thing that has concerned is the amount of what appears to be unmanned vehicles. You know, the whole thing that started off with FPS Russia, where you quad rotor, basically chopper gunner thing. I don't know if anyone's played like Metal Gear Solid 4, but it appears to have them kind of walker turrets as well. So there's a few. It looks like it's going very taken away from like gun battles and going into more kind of like kill streaks. It seems to be really focused on that a lot. I hope that's not the case. I hope maybe it's just a lot of stuff for campaign. That would be quite cool. But for the multiplayer, that worries me. But no, it doesn't worry about that it's going in the future. I mean, it's not the only one that went into the future. Actually, I think the first COD 4, I'm sure that said it's set slightly in the future when it started, but then it just as time's gone on, it's caught up, like time's caught up with it in Modern Warfare 2 and 3. But no, I don't think it should impact it in any negative way, shape or form unless they change the whole recipe for what made Call of Duty so successful.
Okay. What about you, Clarky?
I really like the thought of bigger kill streaks, but I like the thought of what there's been talked about as well, about the fact that if you get a kill, it's a 1 point towards your point streaks rather than kill streaks.
Mm-hmm.
If you capture a flag, which is a vacant flag, you get 1 point. But apparently if you capture an enemy flag, there's talk about you getting 2, possibly 3 points for it. And I think it's going to make you play objectively. I mean, we took part in the Domination clan up last night, and the thing that I liked so much about that was the fact that you're in with people who want to play objectively, they want to capture the flags, they don't just want to sit in corners. And as you're well aware, and one of my biggest bugbears on all of Call of Duties is campers. And I think by introducing point streaks like that, I think potentially you're going to be putting an end to camping. And I think it's a good thing. I think hopefully the point streaks are a lot bigger, but I must say I'm not a massive fan of the unmanned vehicles. You're too vulnerable on the ground.
Okay.
What you said there, Clarky, I don't disagree with, but I think one could fuel the other. If you've got someone who's you know they're going to have to go at the objective because it's more in their interest than ever, then all you have to do is camp the objective. Like, for example, like me and Clarky were playing Mission Dom just before we started this, and you get your A, B, and your not C and B. C and B you get, and you let them get A. Where if it's in your interest, you're going to get 3 points for jumping down to A and getting that. All you're going to be doing is you're going to be frequently changing your flags, and so people just going to camp the flag, camp the objective to get the kills. So yes, it's in your interest to get those 3 points, but if someone can just sit there and let you come and get it, they're going to get more points for doing that. It might fuel camping more than prevent it.
Right. Well, okay, we're moving on to a few different things there, but one, I think you'll never ever get rid of campers because that is just what people want to do, and they think that that's the best way of playing. Now, to a degree, I can kind of understand why people want to camp, because they're that bad of a player. As soon as they get out their little hidey hole, they get shot in the back by someone like me. So that's fine, as long as they don't bother us and they're not there all the time, because the best way of killing a camper is not by going there. Just leave them alone. They'll just sit in a corner and get bored, and then they'll come out and get shot. That's how you get rid of camping. I think the point streak stuff, again, none of this has been confirmed or whatever, it's just kind of speculation. But I did like the way they did point streaks in Modern Warfare 3. What I didn't like is that everything was 1 point. Or things I thought should be points weren't. For instance, collecting tags in Kill Confirmed. Now, I think there's a big trick there, because I don't think it should be worth a point picking up a tag, because there's quite a lot of tags. Let's face it, if you kill 2 people, picked up their tags, that could be potentially 4 points. I think it should have been maybe it's half a point for picking up an enemy tag, or 3 for a point, or if you picked up your own dog tags, that was worth 1 point, or picking up the person you killed was worth 1 point, and picking up a random one was half point, or whatever. I think that would have been quite good. I think it would have maybe been a little bit complicated, which is maybe why they didn't put it in there. But for instance, things like defusing the bomb on Search and Destroy, now that is extremely difficult to do. But I think it was worth more than 1 point. I think it was worth maybe 2 or 3. And yeah, Domination, which is the thing now, bread and butter, that's what we play the most, capturing an enemy flag, I think should be worth more points than capturing a neutral flag. But again, we'll see what they come up with. The other point you got on there about was kind of set in the future and the mechanics. The other thing I was kind of brought to mind was realism. Now, there's been loads of times I've been playing with people and it's like, oh, that'll never happen, this'll never happen. Now, yeah, it's a computer game, you know what I mean? If you want it to happen, sign up to the TAs and get yourself over to Afghanistan. That's really what you want. But set in the future, are we now looking at taking away from the realism of the game? I think that's maybe why it's been such a good thing, is because you can't just go around shooting each other. People want to play it because you can get on with your mates and shoot people you don't like. What do you think about that?
I must say it. I mean, one thing that there's been a lot of talk about is the fact of it being in the future, and the fact of they could ruin it and this, that and the other. But realistically, I mean, we're looking at 13 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to push it? Are they going to push the boundaries too far? And it's not that we're going to be that advanced in 13 years from now. I think all they're doing is they're going to look at prototype weapons that are out now, but the technology's not there to mass produce them, or it's not there for them to work as well as what they're going to in the future.
Right.
And I think that's what we've got to look at as well. It is in the future, but it's not in 3025. It is only 13 years from now. And the weapons that we're going to have 13 years from now, we're going to have very, very similar weapons.
Okay.
And I think that's what it's going to be based around. There's a lot. I mean, I've done a video on it, a reveal video, a review, and I never ever come into something like this. I never commentate with an agenda. I never do any research on it, but this I did quite a lot. And there's an American gun on there, and I think that's the biggest giveaway of it, because that was a prototype weapon, but it's shown on the actual Black Ops 2 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a prototype weapon which is being made now, but they're not going to have it for the next 10 years. And I think that's what we're looking at. I think we're only looking at prototype weapons, and I think that's the reason why they've done it, to make it different.
Okay.
And I think they're not going to kill it too much by, as I said, when I made the comment about lightsabers, that's what I meant. I meant they're not going to have ray guns. We are not going to have ray guns in 12 years' time. I think it's going to keep that realism that way. So
I think they've kind of already said they're not going down the whole laser guns and kind of stuff like that. I think we are going to broach on possibly things like satellite kind of destruction and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be things like laser cannons and whatever. So, Noodle, you?
What you were saying there, Clark, yeah, I've been thinking about how much technology's changed in the last 13 years, so going back to 1999. I don't think technology's changed that much in the whole kind of, in the combat scenario. But what you need to consider is, you know, cinema has had a big impact on our interpretation of futuristic warfare. But in theory, if you're thinking about it, the future should be more about killing clever, not killing future sci-fi. So what would be more deadly, a really pinpoint bit of shrapnel basically puncturing major organs, or a heat beam? Now, I would go for the metal projectile every single time. So futuristic warfare should be more about cleverer ways of targeting, making sure you do the absolute most damage, you know, with the projectile that you've already got. So what really you need for future warfare is guns that fire quicker, so your velocity's there. You know, you can fire bigger rounds more quickly, and you can hold more warfare, you know, more ammo, that kind of thing. So, and you know, your weapon itself is better accuracy, quieter. Those are the kind of things that we'll be seeing from futuristic warfare if we look at it in a practical sense. Not only that, but it's not just about the guns, but it's about the technology we use. So one thing I mentioned in an earlier episode of Attack Insert, as I'd like to see, is the hologram. You know, a bit of cloak and dagger distracting the enemy so you know where they are, and then it's about killing them as quickly as possible without people realising where you are. Mm-hmm. So I think in that sense, we can expect some really futuristic technology without crossing the boundaries into science fiction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I mentioned with that, you're completely right, because it is the films that really interpret the future with floating cars and laser beams and this, that and the other, and it really is. And I think realistically yes, I do think there will be some anti-gravity friggin' car in the future, and it's not going to be jet powered or anything like that. I do believe that's going to be the case, but 13 years from now, and I do know what you're saying. What I meant about the laser beam and the heat beam is there is a prototype laser that does go about, I think it's about 10 miles, and it actually gives you sunburn, and
Oh no.
the concentrated and no, but
2 points for that.
Is it being trialled in Essex?
It's actually used. Get in. No, they've been used. It's a prototype and it's been used in a riot. It doesn't give you actual sunburn. It gives you the effect of severe sunburn, which obviously calms you down because you think, shit, I don't want this again.
You want to go to the beach and have a sangria?
Oh,
Where are you, Charlotte?
mad.
Oh, I'm getting a bit of a glow here like pesto. I better get in the pool.
we got
It's the
I'll be like,
effect.
prickly heat.
Right, sorry to distract you.
But that's... Never mind.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what I meant about that, because, I mean, that technology is there, and I think as it grows, I think it's going to be a thing of the future, possibly 20 years. I hope they don't introduce shit like that, though, because it's so far away, and I want them to keep it. I like the fact that you watch films the likes of Transformers, and you watch all the new films, and the guns that you see on Modern Warfare are the guns that you see on documentaries, the guns that you see on recent films, and stuff like that. And that's what I like about it, because it does feel that little bit real. Obviously, it's a video game. We all know it's a video game. But you know that the weapons are based on real things, which doesn't really take it too far-fetched.
Okay.
That's what I like about it.
Well, here's one for you, because I only found this out today. The KSG shotgun from Modern Warfare 3, that only went into production in September last year. So, when this game came out, they're using a gun that was pretty much prototype stage. Now, I didn't know that until I was watching an Xbox Ahoy video earlier on today. So, that actually in the game isn't a very good shotgun, I don't think. Everyone says it's probably the worst shotgun in the game, yet actually it's probably the most...
I like it.
Well, I've never really used it, I don't know, but it's the most current, up-to-date kind of gun they've got in Modern Warfare 3. Now, I wouldn't have thought, me knowing that or not knowing that hasn't took anything away from the game. It's how it behaves. That's all we look at as a gun. It's how it behaves, how quickly it pulls down sight, what it looks like with iron sights on, etc., etc. We don't really care if it's laser beams. For instance, bow and arrow, right? If they brought out a bow and arrow and they said they were going to put it in Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2 or whatever, I couldn't care less if it was a bow and arrow. All I wanted to know is how long it takes to reload. Is it a one-shot kill anywhere on the body? Is it affected by gravity? Is it instant from your bow to the person, no matter how far away they are? That's the kind of things you need to worry about. Because they brought out the crossbow in Black Ops, and the crossbow was amazing. And it's one of the oldest weapons.
I think the fine Genghis Khan brought out the crossbow, actually.
Sorry there, Mr. Historian. But yeah, it was really good fun to have. Alright, it had explosive shells on it, but still, it was a really, really good thing to use. But it was a crossbow. It was like, yeah, whatever. And I think that's quite cool. But yeah, I think they've kind of already said they're not going to go down laser beams route. It's just how the weapons are going to react. But I do think that, yeah, it's how fast they shoot, it's how fast they reload, it's the maximum capacity. They might do more damage because of better materials and how they're going to split up inside your body, or having small detonation when they hit things or stuff like that. That could be quite crucial. But in the game, it could be just they do more damage, which possibly means a return of stopping power. It could also mean that your clothes that you're wearing are much more resilient to damage, which is kind of like Juggernaut. So it's going to be like the things that we have in realism and how they're going to be interpreted in the game, because it's going to be set in the future. I think it's open to a lot of interpretation, which possibly is where it's going to fall down, if it does fall down at all. So we'll see what goes on. But I'm looking forward to it anyway.
Clarky, you want to say something there?
No.
No. Looking at Modern Warfare 3, I think actually one of the most modern guns on there, well, I mean, I don't know when it was released, I certainly don't know like the KSP, I wasn't aware of that either. But if you look at the FAD, it's one of the most futuristic looking guns on there, but not only that, its velocity is just unbelievable. It fires so quickly and its magazine's that big for an assault rifle. It's borderline overpowered, so obviously I think what they've had to do there is a bit of reduce actual bullet damage that it does to balance it out, because it's as powerful as like the M4A1. It would just decimate absolutely everything, and it's very little once it's got kick on. My iron sights are a bit finicky, but you've got your red dot on there and kick it, it's just lethal. But that's what I mean, if you're talking futuristic warfare, what's to say you can have some kind of like heat-seeking bullets, or just something that causes as much damage as possible without going to the borderline of fantasy. Now what you could do, which does exist, it's just stupidly expensive, something like a rail gun or an ion cannon, which is, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't have that as a kill streak. Instead of having a mortar strike, you could have a railgun strike. Or you could have an ion cannon that's on the screen for about 3 seconds, and whatever it hits, it kills. So there's things like that you could do, but as long as the guns themselves remain kind of like a bit futuristic, but still within the realms of possibility, there's no reason at all why it won't be a success.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to more stuff coming out. I'm sure there'll be teasering and whatever they need to do. E3's coming very soon, that'll be on. They haven't revealed if there'll be a COD XP, but there will be a COD XP. We all know there'll be a COD XP. It's just where it'll be and when it'll be and stuff. But yeah, well, remember, it's 6 months away still, this game. Well, 5-6 months away. We've got ages to wait for it. So it's good that they've given us some news, but I'm not overly too bothered about it. So let's have a look at what's happening now. So, Mr. El Clarko, you want to talk about the new maps?
Certainly do. I've just watched a video by Woody's Gamertag, and it's got the details of the new game mode, which is going to be Face Off, which is 2v2 or 1v1. Now, I was actually talking to a guy, a German guy the other day, and he's quite well informed on YouTube, and he's a pretty cool guy, and he was giving us some details about this whole face-off thing. Now, what he said to me, he's been told off someone that it's going to be the current maps, but kind of like what they've done with Gun Game in wager matches on Black Ops, cut sections of it out so it makes it smaller.
All right.
However, that doesn't seem to be the case. There's actually been a reveal trailer released about this as well, and there's going to be 4 new maps for these face-off games. Now, they're all small maps. Now, unfortunately, on the last TAC insert, I believe it was, I was calling for shipment to be coming back. That's not actually coming back. So, there is going to be... Say again?
Just saying, it's a shame.
Oh, yep. So, there is going to be 4 new maps, however. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but there's going to be 2 released on the Xbox only. It does make it fully clear that it's only on Xbox. Now, there's going to be 2 free maps released on the 16th of May for Face Off. So that's everyone that's going to get them, Elite, Premium or not. So it's introduced a new game mode, which I believe that guy was campaigning for, Robert Boland, and it's actually happening now. So they're getting 2 free maps to introduce this new game mode. There's then going to be a further DLC drop on the 22nd of May with 2 further face-off maps on there as well. Now that does state on the trailer Xbox Live, so when us PS3 guys are going to get it, I really don't know.
Right.
But there's a couple of other spec op missions coming out as well. So the maps for Face Off are called Erosion and Aground. Them are the 2 free ones on the 16th of May. And then there's Kill Switch and Lookout, I believe, which is the downloadable ones on the 22nd of May. So keep a lookout for them.
Right. Yeah, well, as with anything, Xbox gets it first. It will do until the end of this Modern Warfare 3 cycle. They've had a deal in place for ages. We've talked about it before. For people on PS3 like us three, we don't like it, but that's just the way it is. Activision and Microsoft did a deal, and that's just the way it is. Sony didn't, therefore Sony people get it. I believe it's at least 4 calendar weeks after PlayStation, Xbox gets it, and within the Elite deal kind of thing, if you sign up to Elite and pay for it, you get it at least 1 week before everyone else. Basically, the worst people in the world to be is a PlayStation 3 non-Elite subscriber. You might get it eventually. Well, actually, no. I'll rephrase that. The worst people to be is PC players, because they have just getting DLC 1, which came out for even non-Elite PS3 people about 3 weeks ago. So, shit on the PC players, but there you go. So, I believe as well, Kill Switch and the other one you mentioned were Spec Ops maps. I'm sure Kill Switch is a Spec Ops map, but I don't know. I've only just glanced. I only just glanced.
It could be. I mean, it could be. There is a fair few, and that's what I was saying. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I know the first two, Erosion and the Ground, are the 2 free ones.
Yeah.
But then there's 5 maps after: Kill Switch, Lookout, Oasis, Ironclad, and Getaway. Now, some of them are sport missions, and some of them are the face-off
Oasis
ones.
is the new proper map. That's the next one.
That's the new proper map.
That we'll get, yeah, Oasis. I know that for a fact, because I've seen that's quite a good map.
Yeah. It looks really, really good, this face-off, and me, Noodle, Gaz and Walshaw actually had our own face-off yesterday. So
really?
we had to set it up in a private lobby, and I think by doing it, and say there's only me and you on Fox, or me and Noodle on, or only used to on, I think it gives you that option, because we've been playing Team Tactical when there's only been 4 of us on. So I think it definitely gives you that option to play as a clan still, but only as 2 years, which I think is going to be brilliant. I think it's one of the best things that they've released up to now.
Yeah, we've cried out for a smaller, like Shipment, like Rust, like other kind of maps like that, for smaller maps. However, if you sit back on there and get a stealth bomber or an EMP or something, you're going to absolutely decimate the map. So I kind of like they've done it that you have to play in 2v2 only, and kind of taken it so you have to play a certain game type possibly, and I think that's quite good that they've done that. So they've listened to the community and they've said, yeah, we understand what you've said. We can't do it exactly how you want, but this is what we're doing. And I really, really like they've done that. They've never ever done it in the past, really. I know we spoke a little bit about it, saying that Treyarch are missing it after support, and Activision aren't too good. However, I think in Modern Warfare 3 they've been really good at it, but that's because they've been slated in the past. I've always said Activision's games were, not Activision games, Infinity Ward, my apologies, Infinity Ward have always been the better creators of ideas, but then Treyarch come along and go, oh, they will polish them up a bit, and this is actually how it should have looked if you'd spent some time in the community. So, in my opinion, the Treyarch game has always been the better one that follows. Yeah, I think Black Ops 2 is going to be really, really good, and it's going to sort that out for us. I like the fact they listen to the community, they're listening to people. They've now got community managers in there. Okay, Robert Boland left for whatever reason, and he's now set up his own studio, which could be quite cool. I'll wait to see that. But yeah, the new maps that have come out so far, we've just had Foundation and Sanctuary. Is that right? Yes. A couple of days ago, 4 days ago, I think. Played on them once. What are we thinking about them? Are we liking them? Are we not liking them? Noodle?
Love Foundation, hate Sanctuary.
I haven't had a chance to play them yet.
Have you not? Played both. We went in, it was me, Clarko and Gaz. We went into a lobby and it was on Sanctuary, and there was 6 of them, wasn't there? And they all started, because we had our Team Burn clan tags on and our gold ones now, and there was only 3 of us, and we went in there, and they were starting, oh my god, we're going against the clan, oh, we're so scared. And then, you know, when you're locked in and you can't back out, all of them turned their clan tag to the same thing. And then me, Clark just went, oh, fucking hell, big boys, eh? But we nearly fucking won them as well. We were close, weren't we? Considering There was only 3 of us. It was on a map we've never played before, and there were 6 of them. And I think we only lost by about 20 tickets. And the other 3 people, our team was shit as well, which is a shame. But it was really, really enjoyed playing that match.
Can I just say something about that though? When they changed the clan tags, because the way that they went on when we first went into the lobby, and it was, oh, we're against the clan, and I actually called it before they put the clan tags properly though. I said, oh, let's guess, yous are all a fucking clan, and it turns out they were. And what a set of douchebags! Because honestly, all they've done is there's 3 of them had sniper rifles, and 3 that one of them ran around with a shotgun, and 2 of them had ACRs, and they were just round every single corner. And that for me put the nail in the coffin for Sanctuary. That was my first game, and it's my only game, and it, for me, it is like liberation. Not the fact that it's open, because it's not really that open. It's far too big, and if you get killed, if you got C, I've got A, and you get killed whilst you're on A, right the way back over to C. So yes, there is attack insert, but too many camping places for me. I don't like it personally.
Alright, fair enough.
Foundation.
So
Foundation is awesome.
I was going to say, now I haven't had a chance to play them yet, so can you give us a breakdown of both of the maps and what would you compare it to from the history of COD?
Foundation, I've got a sense of Rust. It's kind of built up right in the middle. It's kind of like an oil refinery kind of thing. It's...
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
What was that map on Modern Warfare? What was that map on Modern Warfare where it had the 2 buildings? It was like it was an old grey map. It was kind of like a factory, and I believe it was the map that was the intro to the actual game. I kind of think of its name.
You think of Underpass? Is that the one with the trains in?
Yeah, it might
be. A train station.
It might be, yes. It's kind of like Rust with Underpass. It's quite an intricate map. Yeah. It's really good. It's got about 3 levels on it, and there's a few ladders and steps.
Yeah.
There is, but the open camping spaces. So there's the sniping spots up above. So if you don't get shot, yet you get 10 kill streak when you're up above, then hats off to you. That's good sniping. That's what the game's about. The camping spots that there's no camping spots where it's completely blind. So they can't just lie around a corner and then you go around, then you've got a 50-50 guess of where they're going to be. It's really, you go around the corner and there's not really that many. There probably is, but the impression I got from it, I love it. Sanctuary, for me, I thought that was going to be a small map, if I'm honest. I didn't realise how big that map was going to be. And that Sanctuary is very much like, it's like a sea town type map in a sense.
It's very yellow, I think.
But it's got, yes, that's probably the only comparison. It's the only similarity. But there's not really another map to compare it with. There's a big long bridge and there's like a lot of buildings inside, and I guess it's all right if you got used to it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, fair enough. They're quite good. They're both kind of, yeah. I think Foundation's a little bit like Rust, but it's in a linear domination flag. So B is right in the middle around this building, but the building is like open. It's like girders and stuff. It's like solid walls, so you can creep up from loads of different angles, and that's quite interesting. Sanctuary, very, very nice, beautiful kind of map. Look, it reminds me a lot of, not Liberation, what was the other one? Piazza. Very, very bright, but lots of intricate places to hide. There's like churches and little buildings and gangways and corridors, and you've got to be kind of careful what you're doing, where you're going. Yeah, again, we haven't really played with them a lot. The only map so far, the DLC that we've played a lot of, is Overwatch, and that's the one I like most of all of them. Black Ops we played quite a bit. Yeah, I think I prefer out of all the Overwatch is my favourite so far. But get on with it.
We haven't had night